Common nonsense. Tomatoes. Is it a fruit? When he's underwater, does he get wet? Tomato man. Is a tomato a fruit? This is a question that is the topic of many. A splainy interaction at a party with somebody, some Cliff Claben type, tries to blow your mind when you said you were about to take a bite of that vegetable salad, and they said, "No, you idiot! That's a tomato. A tomato has seeds in it, therefore it's a fruit. It's a fruit salad you're eating. That lettuce and tomato. That lettuce and tomato is a fruit salad." Well, that's common nonsense. We all have that most splainiest of friend who has breathlessly told us the shocking fact. Fact that they heard from their splainiest friend, who heard it from their splainiest friend, none of whom actually bothered to check its veracity, and that fact being, a tomato is not a vegetable, but in fact a fruit. This might be the most widely known shocking fact, and it is
pure weapons-grade bolognium. Your explanations
Bolognium.
are pure weapons-grade bolognium. Your explanations are pure...
Stop repeating, you idiot. It's baloney. Tomatoes are a vegetable, I hate to tell you. Turns out that the tomato, which is famous for being in vegetable soups and vegetable salads and vegetable casseroles, and famous for not being into fruit salads and not being in fruit smoothies and not being in fruit pies, is a vegetable and not a fruit, just like you thought when you were 5 before somebody tried to blow your mind and lied to you. Interestingly, the guy who tries to impress you at a party by saying that tomatoes aren't a vegetable is quantifiable legally as a vegetable. Here's a chart to make things more clear. This is the botanical classifications of a plant, and you'll see there's flowers, there's fruit, there's leaves, there's stems, there's roots. All these things are biological parts of a plant. So, botanically speaking, a tomato is the botanical fruit of the plant. I know! Calm down! I'm getting to it. Just like a broccoli or a cauliflower is the flower of the plant, spinach, lettuce, your charts and what have you are leaves of the plant. You have asparagus, are stems, carrots and tubers or roots. There's even other botanical classifications of parts of plants. There's seeds, like nuts are seeds, and peas are seeds, I think, and pea pods are fruit because they have seeds in them. But you might notice something that's not on this botanical chart, and that's the word vegetable. If that's the fruit of the plant, what is the vegetable of the plant? Well, there is none. Turns out that the word vegetable has nothing to do with the botanical classifications of plants. The word vegetable, it has no scientific value and is somewhat arbitrary and subjective. Since vegetable is not a botanical term, there's no contradiction. Let me repeat that. There is no contradiction in referring to a plant part as a fruit while also considering it a vegetable. This is what I'm getting at, people. A tomato is a vegetable, even though it's the fruit of the plant. Given this rule of thumb, I'm reading from ScienceDaily.com now. Given this rule of thumb, vegetables can include leaves like lettuce, stems like asparagus, roots like carrots, flowers like broccoli, bulbs like garlic, seeds like peas and beans, and of course the botanical fruits like cucumbers, squash, pumpkins, and capsaicins. Those are peppers, I think. All of those things are vegetables. Vegetable, like I said, has no scientific real meaning. It's a little bit subjective. You might hear people say animal, vegetable, or mineral. In that context, vegetable sort of refers to all plants, even non-edible ones. But mostly what we hear is the culinary classification of foods into fruits and vegetables. And that tends to be... in culinary terms, fruits tend to be the sweet edible plants, where vegetables are the savory edible plants. Whether a food is thought of as fruit or veg has nothing to do with what botanical part it comes from. And there's no reason the fruit of a plant can't be a veggie. I already said that, but I'm going to say it many more times. Because this common nonsense has to stop. A tomato is a vegetable. You might be saying, well, there's no scientific definition of vegetable, and there's no overarching agency that determines what is a fruit or a vegetable. But no! In fact, the United States Supreme Court in 1893, in this famous Nix versus Hedon case, Nix was super stoked, or maybe it was Hedon, I don't know which side was on which, when the Supreme Court ruled that tomatoes should be vegetables when taxing and tariffs are concerned. Tomatoes are veggies, like one would expect, and quote, not fruit. What constitutes a fruit or a vegetable has a lot to do with context as well. If you tell your friends that you're going to bring over a fruit pie, and then you show up with the tomato, zucchini, corn, pea, olive, and pumpkin casserole in a graham cracker crust, your friends would be correct in murdering you and concealing the corpse. Because that ain't no fruit pie. There ain't no tomatoes in fruit pies. Would you rather add a tomato to your fruit smoothie or to your veggie salad? If you said smoothie, you are clearly a psychopath. Tomatoes are not a fruit. If you put tomatoes in your smoothies, you can't be trusted to make decisions for yourself. Just like that bro goes running all over town sprouting that a tomato is a fruit. He's very likely the same guy who recently just got into crypto but doesn't quite grasp what it is. Side note, do not buy NFTs from that guy. Bottom line is, fruits and vegetables are a completely different classification than fruits, flowers, stems, leaves, and roots. Nobody in their right mind would try to tell you that carrot isn't a vegetable, it's a root. Because that would be stupid. A carrot is a root that is a vegetable. No one in their right mind would say that broccoli is not a vegetable, it's a flower. That would be bonkers. Because the broccoli is the flower part of the plant that is also a vegetable. A tomato is a vegetable. It's a savory plant that's used in veggie salads and soups and casseroles. It's a vegetable that happens to be the fruit of the plant. It's a vegetable just like cucumbers and zucchini and squash and peas and beans and corn and nuts. All of those things are the fruit of the plant in some sense, but considered to be vegetables. Well, maybe not the nuts. The jury's still out on the savoriness of
these nuts. Got him! Got him!